Hey there, welcome to the channel. I'm Ben, and today we are going to be testing out some brand new custom-made skis from C&A Pro on my Freeride 800 here. They were also generous enough to send me some round bars, some shaper bars, and some Enduro bars to test out for you guys, so huge thanks to them. Let's get this thing fired up and hit the trails. What a beautiful spring day. Seems like snowmobile season is going to be over just about as it begins here this season, but I guess that's still better than last. So we've got the stock skis on here for a bit of a control and conditions test here. It is 29 degrees, 63% relative humidity, and definitely starting to feel like spring. And we've got a warm-up coming next week, so they're closing the trails down, and I would assume that that'll be about it. And there's not much trail here to speak of, other than the dirt trail under the 3 inches of snow. But oh well, we'll get the last couple miles of the season, and I guess just kind of the first couple as well. We'll see what this sled looks like with the stock skis on here and the dual runner 8-inch carbides. Definitely soft snow, so you can see, whoa, skis push, whoa, a lot. Also coming up in the air pretty easy. Woo. As much as I hate watching the sleds sit around 90% of the year, it sure is fun to ride when the trails are open. This is a parking lot, so if you don't know this trick, we'll dive off, get a little bit of snow on the coolers, and proceed. So the main reason that I decided that I wanted to try a different set of skis on here is this pushing that we've got going on. And of course, if the trails are harder, it would be reduced a bit because we'd have something to bite into rather than just push. However, even on cold days, I've noticed that that's kind of the case with this sled, and with all of the other sleds that I've tested the C&A Pro skis on, I would assume that they should clean that up a bit. And they actually have a warning on the packaging that you might notice that you've got a little too much control and that you got to be careful. And if I recall from testing on the ZR 6000 and the F1100, that is kind of what happened. But it was certainly a welcome change on both of those. And honestly, just switching this sled over with these skis to a non-dual runner carbide, just a single runner, would probably make a pretty big difference. But even as nice and wide as these skis are, and as kind of performance based as they are, they're still just a stock ski. So an aftermarket upgrade, just like tires on a truck or an off-road motorcycle, are always going to make a difference. So let's go see if we can't figure out what that difference is. All right, so I've been waiting over a year. Let's see what these things look like. Woo! Those, I think, are going to look really nice on that sled. It actually took us a bit to figure out that, well, me, I guess, that this is actually green and not yellow. But if you guys are unfamiliar, C&A Pro can basically mix up whatever 3 color combinations you like. And they've got lots of different options like this to perfectly match whatever sled you've got. And of course, you can also customize your ski loop color. And these are going to be the XCS. Bottom profile looks about like that. Here we've got the 6-inch Woody's round bars. The 6-inch shapers. And then finally, the Enduros. So I've got the round bars mounted up, and I was about to throw these on the sled, but I figured I'd give you guys sort of a side-by-side comparison here to see how they look against the stock skis. Definitely got quite a bit more as far as geometry goes in the profile, where these are basically just kind of flat on the sides. And I think all 3 of the bars that they sent me are going to act quite different than my dually carbides here, which are not in terrible shape, but certainly could be in a little bit better condition. But when you ride on mostly gravel, that's just kind of how it goes. And also undoubtedly a bit wider than the stock skis are. So I got those mounted up and we'll head out for a ride. I think it might be cooling off a little bit, and the sun's definitely gone. Conditions still seem fairly soft. The biggest change has definitely got to be the look of that, man. I wasn't sure if I'd be all right with losing those neon green skis, but I think these definitely go with the sled, and I mean that color matching is near perfect, so definitely happy with the looks. Let's fire this thing up and talk about the handling changes. And again, this is the round bar, and one thing that I noticed about these in comparison to the other two is that it doesn't have that little section of, I would assume, wear material at the very front and the back. There's not any V cut into it, and it's kind of flat, so I don't know if that just maybe adds a little bit of extra wear protection. Certainly could use that today with all the dirt. But one thing that is absolutely for sure is that these made a huge difference, and I actually need to lean a bit on the sled now, and I'm certainly having to put in a bit more effort on the bars, which is to be expected. Just they're going from a dual carbide to a single. But I'm driving some of you nuts riding through that stuff. Should have seen the trails that I was on the way here. Pick up a little snow. It's actually staying cool enough that hopefully we don't have a meltdown. But basically, by going to that single runner, things were going to stiffen up. But one thing that, if you're going to do that and not change your ski pressure at all, that you'll notice is that without aftermarket skis, you can end up kind of darting around the trail. And if you guys have ever experienced that, it is not fun. And I don't have any of that on this sled at all when I was out on the... Hey, boys. When I was out on the straightaways moving a little bit faster, I didn't have any darting. I mean, it handles. There is no other word to describe it other than beautifully. Like I said, definitely a lot more work, but that's to be expected. And oh man, I could not be happier. Even with the loose conditions, so I mean, granted in stiffer conditions that might change, but even in the loose conditions, I mean, these are just phenomenal. They work so nicely. Sure, we could make some adjustments, and that's definitely not what this video is about, but if you had to do that to kind of dial it in, maybe make the front feel a little bit lighter. Obviously, depending on the sled and where your adjustments are set, you should have the ability to do that. But this is, I mean, the single fastest, easiest way to make a sled that kind of handles sort of meh, to change it into a sled that handles, I mean, very nice. And of course, I'm not a professional rider or mechanic or anything like that, so take that all with a bit of a grain of salt. But I mean, to me, just for getting out and enjoying being out here, enjoying the trails and enjoying this awesome sled, I mean, they're just perfect. And you can kind of see that the middle here definitely digs in a bit deeper where the sides don't hit so much, but I think that definitely, again, helps you from kind of tracking in anybody else's ski tracks and lets you sort of just go wherever you want rather than wherever the old tracks are taking you. And it also seems like in the little bit of powder that I was in when I was riding ditches, that I think probably because they're wider, but also because of that little extra ridge that's on the underside of here, I think it seems like it's sort of, I don't know, it just allows you to control the sled a bit easier when you're sort of tipping it up on the side. So definitely happy with that. Let's fight our way back through the dirt and switch these out for a different bar. So it might be just that my arms are never really in shape for the season, since this is only like my second or third ride. But it does seem like maybe these Enduro bars are a little bit more aggressive and kind of grab the trail a little bit more, which of course does make it a little bit more work for me. But it also, again, and only marginally, and this is kind of, I mean, the skis are going to make the biggest difference. The type of bar is just kind of the fine tuning, and people will actually swap them out depending on conditions. But it does seem like maybe they do grab a little bit more, and I'm definitely liking the 6-inch length that C&A Pro told me to go with. Ugh, not liking that though, because it kind of allows me to sort of almost overpower the track with a little bit of track spin, which is nice because then when you're going around a corner and you feel the ski lifting, you can just give it a little bit of extra throttle. Woo! And then the whole sled can almost kind of break loose, and you can almost sort of drift around the corners. And of course, if you've got a track with studs in it, or even maybe a less aggressive track, this is a 137 with no studs in it, and that's a 1.75 lug. So depending on that, and of course C&A Pro can help you out with that. I'm certainly not an expert on it, but it seems like, I mean, they did a great job. The skis and definitely the length of the bars seem to be just perfect for this. I mean, it just kind of lets me drift around when I need to, but the front grabs and doesn't overpower so much that it's too much. I love that it doesn't dart all over the trail. I mean, this is nice. I like it. Oh, what a beautiful night for a ride too. Let's get back and get these switched out for that last set for the shapers. I suppose you guys probably can't see the stars, but boy, it's a beautiful night to be out in the woods. Always a good time to be in the woods. So trails are definitely stiffening up a bit with the sun going down and temperatures dropping a bit. I'm definitely having a bit of a hard time keeping things cool, and my helmet camera cable seems to be having some problems. So hopefully we can get at least some of this. I think we'll turn the auxiliary lights off and hope that camera at least catches a little bit in case the helmet camera goes down. So before I get moving and knock my face camera out with the cable moving, these I anticipated were going to be a little bit more aggressive, but it seems like they're not maybe quite as hard to turn now as the last two sets were. But that could easily be conditions changing, but I don't know, they definitely just seem, I don't know, I mean, still excellent, and definitely not something that I would go over the other ones, or go to the other ones because of. I think any of them, as long as you pair them with these skis, and, you know, obviously have the right sizes, lengths for your sled setup, I mean, I think you're going to be way better off. I mean, what comes to mind with these skis on here, what keeps coming to mind is that this is how it feels like this sled was meant to be and how it was meant to handle. And I mean, I could not be happier. And while it may seem like I'm trying to sell these to you, I don't make any commission off of any sales, so it doesn't matter. I mean, if I completely trash talked them, I suppose C&A Pro probably wouldn't want to send me another set ever again. But I really have nothing negative to say about them. I would more than welcome any of your guys' input that have used these skis or any other ones. I mean, anybody that I've talked to that's used these C&A Pro skis says that they like them, and I don't see any reason not to go with them unless you don't like good handling and maybe you're afraid to put a little bit of work in to turn the bars. I mean, these, they just clean the sled up so nice and just make it really, I mean, an amazing trail sled, honestly, for how much of a crossover, how much of an off-trail crossover leaning sled it is. Off-trail leaning, you know what I mean. Anyways, definitely happy. Huge thanks to C&A Pro for sending these out to me. You guys can't see anything with that front camera. Hopefully this one worked. Take care, stay safe, stay swanky. Get out and enjoy this beautiful world any chance you get. And if you can't do that right now, well, here's some more videos to check out in the meantime. Ooh, I sure wish I'd get to ride this thing a little bit more, but man, I love snowmobiling. I'm glad we get at least get out for a little bit. Catch you guys next year.